Hello, YouTube, back in the shop. Well, today we got this long stringer to put inside here into these ribs here and through this. Now, Vans is saying, I get this part out. I got to take that bluing off. That was so I get my markings down. So we'll have to do that. But Vans was saying to go ahead and put your ProSeal here on this piece here and then slide this in. And I am going to make an audible here. What I'm going to do is slide this piece in. I'll show you. I'm going to slide this piece in, pull it out, run the ProSeal between the gap, and then Cleco it in. I'll show you what I mean there when we actually do it. So that's the goal today. We got to get this stiffener in and get that ProSealed in as well. And but before I do that, I'm going to get in here. I'm going to get in here and get some of these little ribbons off. They come right off, like I said. So I'll get those off and get this cleaned up a little bit. Looking at it, yeah, real happy with it. One of the reasons why I always say you get someone else to inspect your work. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me, right here. Get my big hand out of there, but you see it? I don't have a good fillet there. So yeah, so I'm gonna get that fillet in. That's why we double and triple check. You look, you know, this is this is my feelings on this is if you are so insensitive or if you're so touchy-feely that you're afraid of criticism, especially constructive criticism, you probably don't need to build an airplane. So because it's a safety issue, right? Sometimes we need to hear the hard things. I must have looked at these pieces 20 times and I still missed it. And it wasn't until this morning it was caught that I missed as part of the inspection process. So yeah, so I'm gonna when I make up the ProSeal for the stringer here or for the stiffener, I'll go ahead and put some more in there. But that was the only thing that came back as a failure. Whoa, way, what happened there? There we go. So that was the only thing that came back. It's got a mind of its own, people. Yeah, that's the only thing that came back as a failure. So that's good, right? So we'll get that done. That's really not a failure. And the reason being is that if you look at this guy here, I'll go ahead and lock it in so it stays. There's no rivets. The closest rivet is right here. So if you correlate that back, where the fillet is right in that space that doesn't have any rivets. But it is what it is. We need to have a fillet there. And so we'll get it. We'll definitely get a fillet there, and everything, and get that done. But yeah, that was the only. Oh, it's got a mind of its own. I'm on a gimbal camera here, so it's gimbal. So that's the only defect. I want to call it a defect that we had as far as the inspection goes. Everything else looks filleted really well. So. All right, you guys know the routine. This plane's not going to build itself, so I have to get to work. All right, YouTube. So this is a second take of this video. I learned a very valuable lesson yesterday. I actually completed this yesterday, and I realized that when my phone runs out of battery, the recording that I was working on doesn't work. So we're going to reshoot it. So the pitfall or the benefits of editing software. So as you guys remember, when I was putting in this long stiffener, I talked about putting it in and lifting the part up and then shooting the ProSeal underneath it. Well, guess what? Nope. You're not going to, once again, Vans has shown me that I am not going to outsmart Vans. No, there's no way around it. You actually do have to run your bead of ProSeal along the rivet line. Run your bead, and then you'll have to feed it in. Now, the trick is this, and I didn't realize this until I did it. So I ran the whole bead in there and everything. What I found works better is if you run your bead like halfway, get your part in there, and then run your bead, pull your part through a little bit, and then run your bead the rest of the way. The reason being is what happens is as you're pushing, there's not a whole lot of space that you can lift this part up. And if you have two people, that would even be better. There's just not a whole lot of space that you can lift it up. So as you get down, you'll see somewhat clean, somewhat clean, somewhat clean, dirtier, or more ProSeal and then ProSeal. What will happen is it's like a train coming through here with all that ProSeal. It's gonna glob up. And then what that does is you have a big glob of ProSeal right here. There's nothing you can do because the ProSeal is so sticky that the part wants to stick to it. It doesn't, once the part touches the ProSeal, it wants to get sucked in, which is good, but it's a pain. So, yeah, I thought I was gonna be smarter than Vans. It did not work out. It was actually, like I said in the closing video that I shot yesterday, but will come after this video, because I did charge up my phone after that point. It was just a little piece of red. Yeah, it is what it is. So lesson learned. The other thing too is I will have to tell you, if you don't have an inspection mirror, you need to get one of these mirrors, because what you're gonna need to do is run your inspection mirror. I didn't know that mirror. Along there with a flashlight or whatever to make sure you get a good bead. What I did is obviously this bead out here was easy to see without an issue. It's that bead underneath that that you have to get. And so get yourself, if you're using the gun, which I would recommend. I was on eBay today. Those guns are selling for $40. Come on. I mean, you're building an airplane, get the gun. Trust me, your life will be so much easier, especially with this stuff. But if you get the gun with a tip, you can just push it up in there and then run it. And then make sure you use your inspection mirror. I'll kind of show you with a little bit of better light. So you want to make sure you get a good bead. One of the things that I was talking to a A&P, your concern is, like, when you have these goops like this, is that going to flake off and get in your fuel? And the A&P said absolutely not. That will not happen. ProSeal is pretty nasty stuff, and it's pretty stable, so it's not just going to break off. That was one of my concerns, is would it break off these goops? When I say goops, these bigger pieces, would they break off and then get, eventually find themselves into my fuel screen? And he was like, no, ProSeal's pretty solid stuff. So yeah, so that's it. We were able to get that piece over there. I'll show you. Able to get that done. That was the one that we failed on the inspection, where we didn't have the fillet. We went back through and everything. And then, the other thing is if you notice, the piece is not in the cradle. When doing this piece here, gravity is your friend. So set it up like this, get out of the cradle and let gravity, use gravity. If it's up, it's gonna go down. The ProSeal though is pretty, it's pretty gooey stuff. So I think it won't sag as much as I thought it would, but it is what it is. So that's it. So yeah, got everything ProSealed, got the pieces up, and now I'm going to let this bake. I still have to do the end pieces, which is what I'm in the shop today to do, is to get these end pieces in and everything. And I don't know if I'm going to get them in because you got to make them. You got to make them up. There's some work that needs to be done on them, but I'm going to start getting those built out and everything. So yeah, but I'm going to let this cook for a while, and then when I get done with this, the beauty of having a symmetrical airplane is when I get done with this, everything I do here, I get to do all over again. So yeah, so that's good times. So yeah, I'm like I said, let this cook up, and then we start all over and everything. So stay tuned for the next video, which is right after this video, which I actually shot yesterday as I was leaving the facility, or the hangar, the hangar, and everything. So be well. Yeah, so it'd help if you put battery, if you charge up your phone. So yeah, so oh yeah, mech, yeah, this is what it'll do: cause hair loss. No, no, the mech, it's good stuff, but just please, if you've never, that's the first time I've ever used mech, MEK, and even with fiberglass, I was kind of told to stay away from it. Fiberglass work, even it's pretty nasty stuff. I don't know why I decided to buy it for an airplane, but it is, yeah, it's pretty nasty stuff. There's my buddy, Clayton. He's going to get his CFI today. He's doing his check ride for a CFI. Wish him the best of luck. But yeah, so that mech is nasty stuff. I just, you know, it's nothing like acetone. The smell is just incredibly strong. Make sure that you have your doors open. Do not use it in a confined space, garage or anything like that. It is some nasty stuff. It'll make your hair, you know, make you lose your hair. So I got more hair on my face than I do on my head. So yeah, so I wonder what he's doing. Clayton just going back and forth. Oh, I think I'm gonna have a visitor. He's pulling in. I think he sees me here, so he's probably gonna pull in and say hi. Isn't it like someone pulling up? He's waving. Nothing like someone pulling up in an airplane. Nope, he just turned around. So yeah, you know, everything went well. You know, just like I said, don't outthink vans. They're usually right. You know, that long stiffener is a pain, is a bear. If you can get two people to help you, that would be better, because you want to lift it up and kind of set it. You don't want to, because what happens is, like I said, you're going to push that ProSeal all the way across. If that's the case, you know, don't freak out. Just try to get squirt some in, you know, pull the part back a little bit and squirt it in there. If you can, use a popsicle stick, kind of push it down there. You know, do what I did where I got light there in the end. I actually dipped some of the rivets in the ProSeal. Actually, I didn't dip them in the ProSeal. I took my extra ProSeal with some of my sticks and filled the holes up and then pushed the rivet through them. I know some people use cotton swabs and cotton swab those to seal it up, but whatever works. Yeah, so I got that in there. It was kind of tedious. I was saying a few choice words I'm not proud of in my head and stuff, but we got it done, got it riveted, and everything. And then I will tell you, I laid the part, as you saw on the table, flat so I can get, I mean, it's going to be, it was hard to get that bead going when it was up in the air. Gravity, you know, gravity kills us all. Well, oxygen kills us all and life kills us all, but no, so use gravity to your advantage, and so lay the part flat and then you're able to run it through there. But yeah, I was able to get it done. Now fingers crossed, we'll see if we got to see. I'm going to let that cook. I still got to do the ends, so we'll do those. We'll get working on those, and getting those in over the Thanksgiving holiday and everything. I know what I'll be doing normally. And the old Jeff would have been vegging, watching series, catching Star Wars or Harry Potter or something like that. But no, I'm going to be working on the plane. So like always, be well, take care of yourself, and God bless you. Keep you guys safe.